Rawteur, because not only are insiders saying Gunn's entire leadership structure could get wiped out once Warner Brothers is sold, but now even the Batman sequel is getting shaken up. Scarlett Johansson is reportedly being eyed for a major role in the Batman Part 2. Not a cameo, not a background blink and you missed it kind of moment. A real role. Giant Freaking Robot was the first to say that she was in the mix. And that sounds about right with what outlets are reporting right now. We're already familiar with Scarlett being in these comic book worlds, and we also know she sued Disney and settled for reportedly $40 million because she said they released Black Widow on Disney Plus and in theaters at the same time, which cut into her bonuses and violated her contract. Now, after something like that, you can imagine that both sides are done with each other, right? So she's free to move into another comic book franchise, and that path naturally leads her right to DC. Now, on the other side of this, outlets are reporting that Zoe Kravitz is not expected to return as Catwoman in Part 2. There's no confirmation, nor has anyone said that she will never reprise her role. What we do know is that she's just not in this movie. And I don't think that weakens the sequel at all, because people tend to forget that at the end of the Batman, Selina leaves Gotham. She literally says she's done with the city and rides out. So her not being in this one actually tracks with where we last saw her. And yeah, people point to that letter Sophia got in The Penguin. So sure, Catwoman still exists in the universe, but that doesn't mean she'll be physically back in Gotham. Not yet anyway. And then, of course, Zoe could easily return in the Batman Part 3 or even pop up in The Penguin Season 2 if that ever gets picked up, right? It all comes down to contract talks, right? If we remember, be sure to clap the like button so that future updates hit your homepage first. Marvel was able to build their universe by locking talent in for multiple movies and TV shows up front. Now, I'm not exactly sure how James Gunn structured his deals with these actors for the DC Universe, but with a sale coming up and everything up in the air, it's not looking great for long-term planning right now. And that brings us to the real problem. The Batman sequel drama is just one tree in a very unstable forest. Because behind the scenes, the entire DCU is sitting on very shaky ground because Warner Brothers is getting sold. And the only question is to who? And anytime new ownership comes in, the first instinct is always the same. They look around and they say, well, whatever you've been doing clearly isn't working. We'll take it from here, right? Because if that was the case, they wouldn't be up for sale. And when you look at DC's track record, you can't exactly argue with that. So the idea that Gunn and Safran could lose control is not some wild conspiracy. It's one of the most realistic outcomes on the table. Then you add in the fact that Zach Kreger has reportedly taken a meeting with Paramount Skydance about a DC movie. That tells you everything you really need to know, particularly with there being reports of vague threats that basically said Paramount is the only company that the FCC will approve to get to win the deal and merge with Warner Brothers. We even just had some reports that if Netflix actually wins the bidding, that there's going to be an investigation into Netflix. I mean, it's looking scary out there right now in the entertainment landscape. Anyway, because if a filmmaker like Kreger is already pitching new DC projects to a potential future owner, that means the current everything goes through Gunn and Safran model is already being bypassed. Buyers are clearly imagining their own version of DC, and that version might not include Gunn having final say. So when you put all of that together, you've got a Batman sequel shifting its cast, Scarlett Johansson potentially stepping into the Elseworlds corner, and a DCU reboot whose entire foundation might be rewritten by whoever buys the studio. Nothing is confirmed yet, but it definitely means the reboot isn't as stable as it looked a few years ago. So what do you think? Do you think the new owners are going to keep Gunn and Safran in charge, or will there be another full reboot at DC? Let me know in the comments below, and for more industry insights, check out this video right here.